Hello everyone, welcome back to David at Go to Hobbies. Right, ETs and the spiritual connection with us. This is part 3. Okay, in the previous video the video was called The Dreams or Dream. Now, you're thinking, how is ET's connection with us, the spirits, and us people? Well, watch and you shall learn, as the saying goes. Okay. When I was a kid, right, I used to live in a place called Enfield, which was North London in the UK. And I remember one night my neighbour across the road had a dog and it was barking. So me being a typical boy, I got up and wondered what the dog was making so much racket about. So I got up, went into my mum and dad's bedroom and I pulled the curtains. And I thought, oh my, whatever the word was, I thought, oh. And what I saw was a sky full of pretty coloured lights, flying in formation across Enfield in the sky. I went downstairs, Mum, Dad, there's all pretty lights in the sky. Yes, son, go back to bed, as they would say. Didn't believe me. They didn't come up, and I thought, I went back upstairs, and I'll never forget that. I'll witness that, right? And they were. Lots of them. So when you hear about these stories about things happening in the sky, they're true. Bit different nowadays what they can do. Anyway, that was just one experience. You have to excuse my stomach growling. But other experiences I had in my life was I always wanted to find out, excuse me, why we're here. What is the purpose of life? We can't just be here and then we die. I don't know what it is, but something inside me had that burning desire to find out what it's all about. Only recently I realised that there's a spiritual connection and with us to the extraterrestrials, ETs. Alright? But you'll have to watch a few more videos to understand what I'm on about. Now, because being a young boy, I've seen these UFOs. So that was impregnated into my memory, I think that's the word, for eternity. So there I am, a young man, growing up, doing what young men do, and all of a sudden, I was, you grow up, don't you? And the strangest thing, as I say, that dream I had stays with me for the rest of my life. I can't forget it. But I'll tell you about another very quick experience I had. I learnt that if you are actually at a place where you experience heat in your dream, then it's real. Okay. And what did I experience? I was sweating my bits off in this dream. I could feel the heat on my face. It was just like being in the Sahara Desert. It was that warm. Okay? So, was that real? Was I really there in that dream? You explain to me. All I can do is tell you what my experiences were in a dream. Okay? But not only that, right? As I've grown up, I'm learning that there's more to life and stuff like that. And I'll share an experience with you, right? and that's this: how I am not dead, I do not know. I've had so many accidents. I thought I was jinxed. I thought, ah, how I didn't get myself killed, I don't know. And I think now, looking back on it, there was a reason why I didn't get killed. Someone was watching after me. Someone was watching over me. One occasion, I was riding my push bike, right, and someone opened the car door on me. And you can imagine what happened. The car door caught my left ankle. It ripped the tendon. And me being a cocky young lad, I gave the bloke an almighty load of mouth. This was I think it was Church Street, Edmonton, in North London. And me being David, I used to live in Bushfield Park then, right? Edenbridge Road, the name of a road. If you want to look it up, you can look it up. And I cycled home. Yeah, my foot hurt, but I didn't realise how much damage I'd done. I got home and my foot was the size of a football. It was swollen. I mean swollen. So they took me up to the hospital. Anyway, we'll leave that for another day. That was just one example. Another occasion, I'm cycling along on my push bike and I go to overtake this car. Right? Actually, it was a van. Sorry, beg your pardon. Van. I remember this. I can still remember it today. I'm going to overtake him and there's an ambulance coming the other way. I thought, no. On another occasion, I'm cycling around Epping Forest on a racing bike I bought out of my own money. Right? And what happened? It was a rally bike and they hadn't brazed the stem of the forks into the, what do they call it? Into the stem of the handlebars. So they hadn't brazed around it, they just put it in. And how I didn't get myself killed, I come over at the top of that bike, I don't know. And what happened, the forks were starting to do that, go backwards and forwards. I thought, I was racing around Epping Forest with my brother-in-law at the time. I gingerly rode it home. I wasn't going to walk it home. I rode it home very carefully. And that was another occasion. Another occasion, I was cycling home from work, and I was cycling down a dual carriageway, right, with traffic on the outside lane against the curb. Who in their right mind would do such a stupid thing? Guess what? David did. But you've got to understand these videos so you get the gist of where I'm coming from with all this. It's not just one video answers the question. So, hear me out and you'll understand. And that is, I'm cycling along and my foot slips off the pedal. Yep, and I went down onto the road. And I remember skidding along the road, right? I had my boiler suit on, thankfully, my work boots, right? Not a good idea to cycle a bike in your work boots, all right? And then all I heard is, yes, it was a truck. Put his brakes on, everything locked up. Oh, I thought, I'm just waiting for it to be run over. So I think I've had a pretty lucky life so far. And there's a reason to this. And that is I had a purpose in life. My time was not then. And that is why I'm still alive. Thank God. So I can tell you this story, and there's a purpose to my life, why I'm telling you all this now. is to make you aware and to make you understand what the purpose of life is. Right, that's part 3 out of the way. So, there's more to come. So please leave a comment down below. Please like, share and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. This is part 3. More to come. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.